Talk radio host and Boston Herald columnist Howie Carr was once a target of Whitey Bulger's. His new book about Bulger's enforcer, Johnny Martirano, is called Hitman. Howie, good morning. Great to have you on.
Great to be on, Lester.
How did you get on Whitey Bulger's bad side, and what was your reaction when you heard he was caught?
I got on the bad side by writing about his brother, and he took it very personally and supposedly put out a contract on me. And I hadn't worried about being physically harmed since he went on the lam back in 1994. But I was happy to see him captured. I was just surprised he was captured in the U.S. I thought he had long ago left America and was in Europe somewhere.
You know, he was wanted, as you know, for several murders, and many see him as a monster. But others, I know, in Boston see him as a bit of a folk hero. How would you characterize some of the reaction you have heard up in Boston?
Well, I think there is that the remnants of the old Robin Hood myth about him. But I think anybody who's studied the case or anybody who was on the street for more than 10 minutes knows that this guy was a psychopath. I mean, he had a partner named Steve Flemmi. He strangled both of his girlfriends who were in their 20s. This woman, Catherine Gregg, that he was traveling with, his mall, so to speak, for all those years, he murdered both of her ex-brothers-in-law. I mean, the guy killed, he's up for 19 murders, but he probably killed a lot more people than that. He flooded the streets of Boston, South Boston, with cocaine. And you have these fools saying he kept the drugs out of Southie. I mean, they're just not, they're not connected to reality.
What do you make of the way they caught him, this tip that apparently came from running ads?
Well, the FBI is defending it and saying it wasn't a set-up job, that they didn't know. But all I know, Lester, is in the old days when J. Edgar Hoover was running the Bureau, when they got a line on a guy that put him on the FBI's 10 most wanted list and say that they wanted to catch this guy, 10 minutes later they'd catch him. It certainly is a coincidence, isn't it, that they begin running these ads and less than a day later he's in custody.
It did happen very quickly. And finally, I've got to ask you, do you think Bulger is going to talk? He was an FBI informant. Do you think he's got more to sing about that might help him?
No, I doubt he'll go to trial, actually. Most of the FBI agents that he compromised, they've either retired or they're dead, or in the case of one of them is going to prison in Florida this week for 40 years for a murder that Whitey and the FBI agent and a bunch of others conspired in.
All right. Howie, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Lester.